The 21st chapter of Noli Me Tangere, entitled The Tale of a Mother, tells us the story of the agonizing feeling of Sisa when her son Crispin is missing while Basilio was captured by the civil guards. The blissfulness she felt was short-lived when the civil guards asked her where her children are, ordering her to return the money his son Basilio stole by the sacristan mayor. The civil guards put a lot of pressure to Sisa, but the latter did not know her children's whereabouts, resulting to captivate her. Sisa is ashamed to be ushered by civil guards, but she has no right to dismiss their action as they reach the town. She was sent to the military barracks and jailed her for 2 hours, and as soon as she is released, she wanders the town shouting her children's name under the sound and cold wind of darkness. Thus, her arrest and distraught in her great sorrow, she became insane. After reading the 21st century of Noli Me Tangere, in order to relate this chapter into a current social issue in the Philippines, I can put the gist or the main idea to Sisa as the motherland Philippines. Philippines is like Sisa. She does not possess any means to fight back or to protect herself. Philippines is rich with resources, culture, and traditions, just like Sisa, who is rich with love from her children, who means the world to her. However, both the Philippines and Sisa have taken for granted, and the people took advantage of its resources and riches. People in the Philippines who usually take the resources for granted and for personal use, after some time, if deemed useless, will be left behind and abandoned. As much as Sisa, her sons were in a predicament. The other was captured and the other one is missing. Sisa was caught in her place, taking advantage for what is convenient for the friars. However, as soon as they deemed Sisa as useless, they abandoned her and let her wander off to herself on finding her treasure and happiness, Crispin and Basilio. It tells us how immoral and concentrated of justice were during this time, as Dr. Jose Rizal took us to the time where favor is served for those who are bold and has a commitment towards the government. Until today, past killings and threats as the system is gradually killing the country's rational pride. Also, people who belongs to the lower social stratification for these political threats and injustice system as Sisa, the motherland, whom failed to collate her senses will probably won't rise up from the shallow surface of the puerile argument due to unfair critics. It is like this ill society. The emotional and psychological pressure has rise up to gone wild, oppressing the opportunity to make a change for some time. The unfortunate turn of events had made the motherland inactively work and receives many refusal of help from its people. The chapter 27 of the sequel of Noli Me Tangere, entitled The Friar and the Filipino in El Filibusterismo, is about the argument between Isagani and Father Fernandez. These two people considers each other as an exceptional person and willfully respects each other too. However, in this chapter, Isagani argues about the hypocrisy that the friars imbued to them. He claims that the education from the friars are not good enough and he wanted them to fulfill their duties, guiding them to the right path. Isagani wanted the friars to give them a society that is honorable, moral, and devoted. But Father Fernandez opposed his ideas and he used the government as defense for his losing argument, making Isagani believe that they have plans for the country and Indios. However, this things does not go to expected success. The first notion of the chapter tackles the issue of freedom for education and social issues. Isagani is the epitome of a young, independent, and steadfast Filipino buried with principles nowadays. The cry of people is always stagnant than that orders and conduct from the government. People would always see the void of their duty and the rise of different platforms and protests, raising their principles to improve their obligations as officials will always be justifiable, but this is just an upfront of inevitable danger for aiming what they need to hear. As Father Fernandez said, it would be a prostitution of education to give it to men without character and morality. This line contradicts the famous quote of Jose Rizal, "The youth is the hope of nation." Logic in this chapter is we are binded and as well as separated with the theories, laws, and beliefs. There is always a mind that protests and a mind that suggests. The government who does the command shall make its responsibility in a moral state. But to be trapped in an education without so much education is a hunger for students from knowledge and progressive power of enthusiasm. In addition, neglecting to go deeper in finding the character of each student closes the door for opportunity. A student denied by his right to study is a product without a brand that constitutes to his society, let alone that he is deprived by conserving his life. The fail of the government is the fail of its people, but the voice of the Filipino will always be the voice of God.